Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 13, text 32. I'm still struggling with the text versus verse. What should I say? Verse 32, text 32, whatever you prefer, whatever floats your boat. um, so this one is also, this one is confusing between the two people. So I'm going to be reading the Bhaktivinoda Thakur translation as well, and we will go from there. So let us call Krishna into our lives. Let us pray. Let us pray with intensity, as much intensity as we can muster, and let us beg him for help in understanding this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this verse to the best of our current ability, to whatever extent you believe that we should understand it, that would be good for us. Please help us understand. Please, 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 we beg you, please. We're at your feet. Please help us understand, and please help us have this motivation, this intense motivation to serve you by studying how to come closer to you and how to serve you by learning how to serve you in the most efficient way, the most beautiful way, in the most loving way possible. Not efficient, but loving way possible. Okay, let's sing the verse together. Anaditva nirgunatvat paramatmayamavyayah sharirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lepyate. Those with vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjun, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. So this one is different from what Swami Mukundanand as well as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said. Swami Mukundanand has said Param Atma. Paramatma means super soul. Paramatma, the one in the soul. So let's read this one. The super soul is imperishable, without beginning, and devoid of any material qualities, O son of Kunti. Although situated within the body, it neither acts nor is tainted by material energy. So it's saying the super soul is devoid of any material qualities, and it is situated in the body with the Atma, but it is neither acting nor is it tainted by material energy. This makes sense to me. So I'll go with this translation right now in this commentary. God situated within the heart never identifies with the body, nor is it affected by the existence. I think Bhagwan Shri Krishna has mentioned earlier also that God can be here, but is completely independent of material energy. Is never ever affected by the material energy. It makes sense, right? Obviously, his presence in the material body does not make him material in any way. This is powerful. Like, yes, his presence in the material body, he's there, but he is not material in any way. He's like a lotus, completely separate from it. Nor is he subject to the law of karma and cycle of birth and death, although these are experienced by the soul. Duh. Okay, so we'll read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's translation here. Then, having attained the Supreme, the Jiva realizes that the Paramatma is imperishable, without beginning, and beyond the modes of nature. Even though he remains in the body along with the Jivatma, he is not corrupted by the quality of the field like the bound Jiva. So, Jiva is corrupted. The Jivatma is also superior energy. The Jivatma is also, this is a new thing that I'm just thinking of right now. The Jivatma is superior energy. The Jivatma is spiritual. Paramatma is superior energy. The Paramatma is spiritual. Jivatma is eternal. Paramatma is eternal. Right? Jivatma is pure. Paramatma is pure. And yet Paramatma, Paramatma and yet is not affected by material energy or by the laws of karma, while the Jivatma is. Because Paramatma is Paramatma, Bhagwan is Bhagwan, like he's independent of all of these. Jivatma has these desires, the soul, not the body, the soul. That's something that I learned a month ago or something like that. The soul has these desires 2 months ago or something. So the soul has these desires which allow it to come into the material energy, material world, attain this body, believe it's the body, forget its own nature, forget its nature relationship with the Sambandha, with Bhagwan, and gets affected so heavily, intensely, deeply by the material nature, by the clutches of Maya. Paramatma, of course, is not. Even though he remains in the body along with Jiva, he is not corrupted like Jiva is. Therefore, having taken refuge in such knowledge, the Jiva who has attained the Supreme is not contaminated. So once we get this knowledge, not just Gyan but Vigyan level, we understand this knowledge, we become self-realized, we become God-realized, which means Paramatma realized as well as Bhagwan realized, then we are not contaminated. And then the next verse, he's saying, listen to how a Jiva, though not corrupted, acts within the field. When a jiva is not corrupted. That's the next verse. And that's it for this verse. And wish you a day filled with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of spiritual growth and lots of extreme enthusiasm and motivation to attain Krishna. Radhe Radhe.